Hey everyone, I'm just going to go over one of my recent kit bashes here that we've made for a gentleman named Ethan for his collection of 1/64th and Code 3 models. So first, as you can see here, this is freshly off the bench, nice and clean. I'm just going to bring in an image of what the truck started off as, right there. So it started off as a 1/64 scale Code 3 collectibles Pierce City of Miami Engine 3 that the customer Ethan had provided for us and asked us to make a velocity pumper to match his fleet of 3D models. So from there, as you can see, it is quite the difference of a transformation there. So we'll just pull off the Miami truck here and we'll go over little things. So the cab here went and we cut the roof off of the cab here, made a flat roof. We added styrene to the top there. This front little overhang here is also styrene piece that we shaped accordingly to what their actual trucks have, where Ethan is a member of. From there, we sanded down the windows, made the curve of the Velocity and the Impel style engines. We added on custom styrene door handles over top of the existing ones there. We got an EMS cabinet door or gear storage cabinet. And with Ethan's models there, he's done a little bit of a blackout feature on some things there as well. We'll just go over onto the roof here and we'll show you some of the details. There will be another fan added into the roof right about here by the customer. The three lights are from Inquarters and Rich's new laser cut light bars, and man, they add incredible detail. So thank you, Rich, for bringing those out to the kit bashing community. I can guarantee I will be definitely getting more. We're gonna just turn the truck around a little bit here and we'll go to the front details. I'll try and zoom out here a little bit so that everybody can see into the cab. So the customer had asked that if it was possible for myself to make the EMS compartments inside. So as you can see there, the interior is red and we have the EMS compartments inside to go with the doors on the outside of the driver and officer side there. So that was the first that I've never done before, is change the inside of a Code 3. So I was like, you know what? I'm up for a challenge. Let's try it out. From there, we reshaped the front hood, as you can see, painted some lines there, added an American grill there. Pretty basic. That's off of a Code 3 Pierce piece. Added front corner turn signals here. Front bumper trash line, which is what the customer has on some of his other fleet. And we have an embedded Q siren as well. And we have 2 rolls of fire hose here. And that's something that I wanted to try for extra detail here. So I went to the Real Canadian Superstore here in Penticton. Most Canadian places have them. You know, it's Loblaws kind of thing. And I went into the hair section of the store and I got these poly bands. So these poly bands come out in multiple different sizes and they're pretty thin and skinny, as you can see in the bag there. I won't try and pull them all out, but what I did was I went over here, I pulled one and I folded it in half and then I rolled it up to get 2 little mini pre-rolled hoses for deployment on, I'm not too sure what they might be deployed on, maybe car fires or just extra attack line if needed for deployment. So yeah, that was a pretty cool, neat little technique there that we tried, something different. I always like to try and do something a little bit different on each model there. We got hand painted little directional lights on the top visor. The little scene light up top here is custom styrene cut accordingly with a little bit of paint added on there to make it look like a lens. The AC unit on top here is from Code 3 American La France, a little bit different style than the Pierce ones. Overall looks great there. The front bumper is off of a 1/64th Code 3 American LaFrance Buffalo engine, where I had done some custom work there, like cutting in the area for the Q siren, adding checker plate on there. So we got the hand painted black rubber edging, and the chevrons around the front bumper are hand painted, with a little bit of use of some chevrons from in quarters as well, just to kind of gauge where I wanted my hand painted lines to be. And then also inside the cab here, I'll change the angle a little bit there, we have a portable computer for the officer. So that's something that I offer on my website there for people to use for their custom models and everything, and just added a little bit of extra detail there for the model, and it turned out so cool. We'll come around over here onto the officer side here. So what we originally did was we cut down the pump panel, and we added some custom styrene there, black plating, and we added some discharges and inlets there for the officer side compartment. It's pretty basic on the actual engine, so we tried to replicate that as much as possible. We got two cross lays, attack cross lays up top here, and what I did was I took those off of the original pump panel and I cut them down so that they stick out a little bit for extra detail. And then we'll just go up top here. So what we did was we cut down the original pump panel about 30 millimeters ish around there, just for a lower pump panel. Then we cut out the top part of the pump panel and just added in some extra styrene there and some diamond plating. Then we got a deck gun here. We got a little tank fill, and then two foam jugs. And then, you know, I'm sure maybe the customer might want to add some extra tooling or something up there, keep it nice and simple and open. So that's a pretty cool little details there. The other thing that the actual Miami truck didn't have was a ladder rack, and the customer wanted to have a ladder rack on there. So we took a ladder rack off of a Code 3 engine and grabbed some ladders out of the spare parts, and we added that in there. And the other thing, as I'll bring the image back in there and we'll zoom out here on the Miami engine. We'll drive it in here. It has roll-up doors, and you can see the edging. You can see the pump panel. You can see the difference in the pump panel there as well. So, you know, quite a significant change in the overall pump panel. And as you can see, the Miami body kind of has a rescue squad style body, so pretty square looking. So what we ended up doing was removing that and removing the roll-up doors and adding custom styrene doors there, where we hand measured and cut down some. As you can see, there are these silver little areas here on each side, up top here, and then down the way there. Those are the hinge points for the doors to open. And so we added that in for a little bit of extra detail there. All the striping and the slam lock decals are from in quarters as well. You know, Rich does amazing work there, and it really makes a model pop using those kind of pieces. So we got the ladder rack on there, and this side of the body. We have the custom 1/64th scale, 1/87th scale checker plating that I've started using on some of my models here, and it just adds a little bit of extra detail as well. Okay, we'll flip around here and we'll get a little view of the back side here. So the customer is going to be adding a custom hose bed cover there out of mesh. So he'll be doing that. He asked for specific color coding for his hoses there, probably a department spec. And then I'll bring in the Miami engine as well, so you can kind of see the difference there that we have created on this model. So as you can see, we still have this area here on the new engine, but what I ended up doing was I filed down the checker plating nice and smooth, filled it in so that we could have this nice clean flush background for the chevrons to stay onto. And we filed down the roll-up door a little bit there. You can see there's a bit of a difference. Hose bed, we took out the hose bed cover and everything like that. We added this little bar along here, which is going to end up having a couple of scene lights added by the customer as well. And then I'm sure some rear lighting as well. And then continue on with the little bit of blackout features there. We added 2 black handrails there just for easier access into the hose bed and up onto the back bumper there. So that's a little bit of the difference there. You can get a little bit better picture here of what the top of the trucks look like there. Pretty different in comparison. And then we'll just take a quick little peek here at the Miami engine's pump panel here. You can see all the little details and the gauges here. So, you know, Code 3 does a pretty incredible job on what they wanted to do for pump panels just to kind of replicate the real engine. So from there, I took some of the basic implements on that engine and incorporated it into this side of the truck as well. The rear body, as you can see, is still the same. We got a black little handrail there for easier access up to the pump panel to get to the deck gun. But yeah, so what we did here was we left the 2 top gauges up here. We added in some more pre-connects, disc charges, and that kind of thing. And just hand painted the control panel area as best as we could to replicate the model. The other thing we did here was, you probably saw there and a few times I brought in the Miami engine, is that the wheels were red, sorry. So painted them chrome here, added them on, and it turned out amazing. Looks pretty good with the chrome, quite a bit of difference. The mirrors on this truck are also from a Code 3 truck. They're from one of the American LaFrance pumpers there, to best replicate what the actual engines of Ethan's department have and what he has for his model fleet of his trucks there. So that is just kind of basically a little rundown of the 1/64 scale 2021 Pierce Velocity rescue engine here that we've made for Ethan. And it'll be on its way to its new home here so that it can be featured in Steve's model show here down in New Jersey. So I can't wait to see it down there. Thanks, Ethan, again, and stay tuned, everybody, for the next model coming up.